Oh great, I get to piece it together.
No one in there. You sure you said someone in there?
Hey! Hey! Yeah, we said everyone.
Upstairs! Upstairs!
Stay there.
Alex, wait! Alex!
Catherine! Catherine!
What? No, Dad, it was horrible. We need to call the police.
Now! What's this kid? Practical jokes, isn't it? Who's that kid?
Dad, there was something here.
Oh Lord, it's
Here!
like my hands hurt.
So where is it now? Hey?
I don't know.
You're that guy who's been smoking weed or something, yeah?
No!
Catherine. Why are you so adamant on winding me up, eh?
Winding you up, I'm not winding you up.
So what do you want me to do about this, sweetheart? There's nothing here.
This house, Dad! I hate it!
Please, can we stop this, please?
No, Dad! There's something really weird in this house, Dad. Admit it.
Enough! Enough, enough, enough! You just like come up, force and move back home, that's what you do, I know what you're up to. Ever since my mother died, you've been wanting to fuck my head up. Well, congratulations! You spiteful little bitch!
Okay then.
Stop that shit and start this.
Shit. I think I'm retarded.
What?
I can't get these picture pieces to line up. See?
No. That's like
These three pictures. I am too.
It's following your passion to the very top and setting a standard for controlling full. We'll be
I think
ready.
it's too soldiers. I just can't get the pieces to fit in. How'd you do? God damn it. I don't know how you do that.
it's real simple.
I was looking right the fuck at it. And there's one piece left.
Love baby. What is it, baby?
God damn it.
There you go, Mom.
Oh, quarter less muscle because I about fell.
What do you want, baby? Want the candy? Want the candy? Here. Here. Come get it. Here. Here's the candy. The begin. Don't begin. Wanna get into bed with Mama? Wanna get up there? Begin? You wanna get out of bed? Get up there. Let's have a little more of this. Alright. This is walk. Christ, get out of there, asshole. Oh my god.
That guy's some other place.
My God, is everything all right?
Does it fucking look like it?
Okay.
Please, sit down. I've made you a coffee.
I don't want to sit down. I want a cup of coffee.
Please, sit down.
What is this movie? I actually want to see this one. Poltergeist Activity, so we're gonna missed half of it already, so let's kick out of that. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that movie.
Almost every civilization in recorded history has believed in witches and their supernatural power to do great harm. For centuries, they were persecuted by the thousand. In the Middle Ages, it was believed witches were behind the horrifying illness that regularly struck their communities. Fevered nightmares, sick animals, dying children. It was known as bewitchment. The mystery of this strange affliction, which prompted so many executions, may have been cracked by scientist Linda Caporell.
As I was starting to work through this jigsaw of evidence, I felt like a detective. I was on a great sleuthing project, and every time some piece of evidence fell into place, I was so excited.
Her detective work may also have unearthed the true culprit behind an ancient murder mystery. A man hacked to death over 2,000 years ago. And the biggest clue, an infamous hallucinogenic drug from our time. For 3 dark centuries, witch persecution persecution reached epidemic proportions.
Okay, so it's not.
Between the 15th and 17th centuries, over 40,000 innocent men, women and children were sent to their deaths across Europe. The Vatican sent out a decree warning people of bewitchment. In England, witchfinders hunted down suspected witches. One hauled 250 before the courts in just 2 years. Witchcraft was a crime punishable by death. One of the most brutal cases of witch persecution took place here in 1589 at the manor house in the village of Warboys near Cambridge. Doctors and church leaders had been called to diagnose a mystery illness that had struck down the 5 little daughters of the well-to-do Throckmorton family and 7 of their maidservants. To them, the illness bore all the hallmarks of witchcraft.
There were a number of doctors who were extremely sceptical about witchcraft, but who were willing to come to the conclusion that the disease was caused by witchcraft or by demonic possession after all other available explanations had failed. It was one of the things that they had in their diagnostic armoury.
Said that a witch could send out her familiars, animal spirits, to bewitch the weak and force them to make a pact with the devil. The sick showed all the classic symptoms of bewitchment. They were plagued by hellish visions, often of wild animals. One of them imagined she saw a cat tearing her skin from her flesh. The girls' bodies also went into violent fits as bent double, they writhed in agony on their beds.
Oh my goodness.
A diagnosis of witchcraft meant one thing. Someone totally innocent would have to take the blame. In Warboys, a local misfit, Alice Samuel, was singled out. In England, it was standard practice to torture a witch. They were often branded, mutilated, or held underwater struggling for breath. Any method to see the curse of bewitchment lifted was considered totally acceptable. Alice Samuel was no exception.
Another thing which they believed at the period was if you scratched a witch to draw blood, that would again alleviate the suffering of the person who was allegedly bewitched. And this does happen to her. This is a form of physical maltreatment that she is subjected to on several occasions.
After a year of continuous pressure, she confessed. In England, we did not burn our witches at the stake. We let them die slowly at the gallows. Alice Samuel was hanged. For good measure, they hanged her husband and daughter too. By 16th century standards, it was an open and shut case. Ignorant of the truth, doctors and church leaders repeatedly gave bewitchment a supernatural cause. But the mystery of what was really behind the symptoms has never been cracked. Until today. The strongest evidence lies here in Salem, in the heart of New England, one of the original settlements on the east coast of America. It's a major tourist trap now, but it was the scene of the Salem witch trials, the single most dramatic episode of witch persecution, made famous by Arthur Miller's stage play and movie, The Crucible. Exactly the same symptoms were seen here 100 years after the Alice Samuel case in England, only with far more disastrous consequences. In 1692, 150 people were imprisoned and 19 men and women were executed for witchcraft.
In my view, the people who were hanged during the Salem witch trials were heroes because they probably could have saved their lives by confessing.